Good evening. Today is the 12th of August.
You have to read their thing.
I don't have to read this chair thing. Pursuant to MGL 30A something 20F, after notifying the chair of the public body, any person may record or transmit this open meeting. This hybrid meeting is being recorded by the town of Stockbridge. Names of members participating remotely will be announced. Any member of the public wishing to speak must first receive permission from the chair. The agenda items listed are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, but not all may be discussed. And other topics not listed may be brought up for discussion by the public body as permitted by law. Question? Okay. Do we have,
Bill should announce he's here.
Bill Resetaritz, I am present.
Hi, Bill.
hi, Bill, thank you. Name ourselves here?
No, just for.
Just Bill, because he's on Zoom.
We used to have a little,
Okay.
we used to. That didn't work well. Okay, fix that after. Do we have any minutes from the last, I have not seen.
I think they're stapled
Do you
here.
have copies?
They're stapled.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
They were sent out.
Are they copied on the back of this?
Yeah.
Let's take just a second. Has anybody had a chance to look at them? I hadn't seen these
I
yet.
did look at them. They look
They're
good to me.
fine. Well, I wasn't at the last meeting, so it doesn't really matter if I look at them or not.
Wasn't there either, so.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of July 22nd.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Bill, I guess. Hi, Joe.
I, Bill R.
Lose myself. Okay, now. Informal for tonight. We start off, we have originally had a Parks and Rec letter from Katie.
Further down.
Pardon?
Further down.
It wasn't on the first one. It's on top now.
This is the good one. That's the old one.
All it does is move it around one.
Exactly.
Let's give it. I'll summarize it. Four Corners, Berkshire Botanical Garden Conservation Restriction. We have a communication from the lawyer that the restriction cannot be played with.
I think the word was used was modify, and we weren't modifying.
So what was originally written in the conservation restriction must stand. They were looking to consolidate the parking and gain extra days, and that won't be allowed. And was it 40 days originally?
They increased it by about 15 days and restricted some of the parking, but we can't change it without a formal amendment. The proposal went to the town council to amend, to modify the restriction, and town council said they couldn't do that. We were willing to do it if it was legal, but it's not, so we could not.
So as a conservation restriction was written, it now stands. Was there a time? No, there was no time on that. It was
They
perpetual.
wanted it. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't think there was any time on it. No.
All right. Westdale.
I have a question.
I'm a member of the Stockbridge Land Trust. To the extent you would like someone from the Land Trust to provide a little more color on that and the reason behind the MOU that was submitted, I'm happy to speak to that.
Sure.
We can also move on to the next agenda item, whatever is helpful.
You want to give a little briefing on that, what happened and why?
Sure. So Catherine Chester, I'm vice president of the Stockbridge Land Trust. As you know, the Land Trust is the holder of the CR on the Four Corners property. The Concom is the secondary holder of that CR. When we were approached by the Botanical Gardens about their little predicament of parking, they have a long-term plan to create a much larger parking lot elsewhere on the property, but that won't be able to be completed probably for 9 or 10 years. And their overflow parking is just, it's to the point where they've had to just turn away people from events because they don't have the capacity. So they approached the Stockbridge Land Trust before this season and said, you know, is there anything we can do? This is our problem. We have a long-term solution, but we don't have a short and medium-term solution. After considering it for quite some time, the thought was not to modify the CR. That's a lengthy process that requires state approval, et cetera. I think everyone's aware of that now. Rather, we were trying to create an agreement whereby the land trust wouldn't take them to court. And in return for being a little lenient for a few years, the Botanical Gardens, would offer additional factors on the land to make the conservation value increase, such as shrinking the size of the parking area on that field and letting the meadows grow up taller, just bringing back some of the native species that may have otherwise not flourished because before they were mowing down the entire field every couple of weeks. So that's sort of the short version of.
So at our last meeting, we were aware of that. And at our
Yeah.
last meeting, we took a vote and said if town council approved that, we were okay with it. It did go to town council. I don't know if you saw the response.
I did. It didn't seem like it quite answered the question of whether we would be in violation by not bringing the Botanical Gardens, you know.
She says, unfortunately, the language is quite clear. The parking is limited to what is allowed in the CR, and the parties cannot amend the CR without approval of the EOEEA.
Sure, but but the land trust didn't want to change the terms of the CR. We want the memorandum of understanding was written in such a way that, first of all, we could retract it at any time if we were not pleased with how the Botanical Gardens were using the land. And rather, it was a sense that we wouldn't strictly enforce the terms for a short period of time in return for a greater conservation value on the land. And then it would revert back to exactly the original terms.
The way I read this, I read that as a no. I think if you want to pursue it, my feeling is if you want to pursue it with town council, you can, but my understanding from reading this, I don't know if other people had a chance to read it.
Yeah,
It sounded like,
a definite no to
it
me.
sounded like a no. Yeah, but you can certainly pursue it, and if you get the green light, you know, we can.
Sure. The land trust will certainly bring this up at our next meeting and be in discussions with the Botanical Gardens.
Thank you.
Okay. Loveless property, Route 102, West Hill. Kate,
Yep, want me to?
come forward if you wish.
Okay. Would you like me here?
Anywhere you,
This work?
yep.
Okay.
And I think for the we know you, but for the record.
My name is Kate Fletcher, and I'm here on behalf of the Laurel Hill Association as the chair of the Properties Committee. Thank you.
Okay. What do you have for us?
Well, I think you've all seen, we've been working with the Land Trust on a conservation restriction for the Westell property, formerly the Ginny Lovelace property. And we are here before you to get your input, and we hope at some point to get your blessing so that we can move forward to the select board and on to the state. So I just wanted to, be available to answer any questions you might have.
Who is going to hold the CR?
The CR would be held by the Land Trust.
Okay.
First of all, it was a tremendous amount of work to create that. I was very impressed.
It's my first CR, so I expect questions and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but I thought it was really well done and a tremendous amount of work went into it. So thank you. I did have a couple of questions. Did you have camping in there? I was looking under prohibited.
I did not have camping in there, but I think there's something about, did you feel that then?
The reason I'm asking, and Jess may know, from McAllister in Great Barrington, sometimes we would find that people were camping on that, in that area.
Yeah,
And so I think, I don't know if we amended it, but it was good to have it like in writing.
I think the one difference with McAllister is that there's no CR on it and it was just actually town owned.
Held by
So
the,
you guys got to define use as part of your kind of operational,
yeah,
kind of mandate. I read this CR a long time ago. Usually there's not, camping isn't usually called out explicitly, but it's usually that overnight status. It's, can't have tent platforms, you can't have, so it's like almost the infrastructure you can't have for camping. I would have to relook
Yeah,
at it.
and I have the document too, again,
Yeah, I have.
Chester from the Land Trust. It is not expressly provided as a permitted act, and therefore I believe the default would be that it would not be permitted.
I think it wouldn't hurt because you do list prohibited.
yeah.
It wouldn't hurt to
Yeah.
put it in, but it's up to you just to suggest.
There's something in here about structures. So I suppose a tent, definitely a tent platform would not be something I think that would be allowed, but just a tent. Yeah, that's, we can definitely have a conversation about that.
We could also address it, just say no overnight use of.
Yeah, something like, just so you're covered.
Yeah, that would,
Because it
that
comes
would
up-
cover the tent.
So
Pretty
usually because unless, you have to be more explicit with the permitted
Yeah.
side. So everything else is explicitly not prohibited. Part of it is in case you can't think of all the things you need to prohibit, and that's why the default is prohibited. And sometimes there's a bit of a problem why CRs are written where like it's the big ticket items that are explicitly prohibited is that you never know when something quirky is gonna happen. Like a forest fire where people need to, like Pine Cobble when it burned in Williamstown, they had to cut fire breaks on a CR, which explicitly went against the CR. So it's so funny how it's almost best to actually not lay out prohibited uses in case there's extenuating, and it's so funny what perpetuity does. So I would not go too deep, but because there is a parking lot, I think that overnight use with parking lot, that means also cars aren't there overnight, car camping. It might be a good thing, but I would not expect in a CR to have an extensive list of prohibited. You want that actually to just be very vague and that everything else is, if it's not explicitly permitted, it's prohibited.
Okay, well, these are just feedback to you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Another question, you talk about field mowing,
Mhm.
and I couldn't tell, is it near water? Is it areas?
What page are you on, Lisa?
I just took notes, I didn't write the pages.
I think it's on top of page 8,
Could be,
paragraph E.
but is it, can you read it to us?
Sure. Field mowing. The grantor will ensure that mowing of existing fields as documented in the baseline report takes place during non-nesting seasons in consultation with Massachusetts Wildlife's Natural Heritage and Endangered Species Program or its applicable successor in accordance with best practices in order to manage invasives, enhance biodiversity, native habitat, and native species.
Okay, so it's places that they're already being mowed. I didn't,
Basically, that's the intent is just we did a site visit last summer.
Yeah.
And the intent was to maintain as needed what's already currently open, and we're very aware there's sort of there is a wetland area.
Yeah.
And so, we.
you keep a distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It says, yeah.
Okay. Another question.
Yeah, sure.
Archaeological investigations,
Mhm.
are they in coordination with the tribe? Is there any
It's usually
connection?
not with a tribe, it's with the Massachusetts Historical Commission.
Okay.
Could be the entity that the request would go through. So even the tribes sometimes coordinate with them, or they can get blanket permission that then would be in compliance.
So,
You know, and if I could just add one more thing to that, that language that you're referring to, that's the actual state template CR language that's provided.
use,
And our attorney advised us that unless you have a very good reason to stray from that wording, don't change it because that makes the state kind of
Nervous.
nervous.
Pay more
It's like, why are you changing our language?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
it's certainly easiest to do as we're told on.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And is there agricultural mowing too? Is there separate mowing for agriculture?
There isn't separate mowing, but there is permitted agricultural use should the owner wish to do that.
Will the wetlands be mowed at all, or is it just gonna be let grow
No,
even during the dry season? It won't be wet fields forever and ever. It'll be,
I would also
Wow.
recognize that some wet meadows need not as frequent mowing,
Mhm.
but it would really depend on kind of habitat goals that you're trying to maintain or achieve on site. So I think the consultation with Heritage and of course, anything that needed, you would still have purview under the Wetland Protection Act. So the CR doesn't give rights to anything that you wouldn't still review as being in a wetland or buffer or stream corridor. So that doesn't take any, you can still deny it, but it has to be allowable
Mhm.
under the CR.
who makes?
I mean, one thing I would say is that there is no, there isn't plan for the property yet.
To do that?
So, basically, I think my understanding is that your mowing is tied to having an actual, if it's a forestry plan or, whatever type of plan you're doing, to sort of setting out those goals of what you're trying to achieve.
Mhm.
But, this is your background, so I'd love to hear from you on that. So,
I would need to see it and
yeah,
walk around,
yeah,
which brings the question to me. Can we go see it?
of course.
I'm not familiar with the
Yeah, I
property.
mean, I know some of the Concom members, but I think it was, it was several years back. I inherited this, wording from an earlier board.
Yep.
But I think it was, Joe, you were potentially on a site visit at some point.
If it was past history, probably.
Yeah, so yeah, no, of course, if you'd like a site visit, by all means, yeah.
Hmm?
We'd
The
welcome your-
Indians put Joe on.
Yeah, no, we welcome your input, so.
I mean, yeah, I would love to see it just because. I
Sure,
haven't seen it.
sure, yeah. I actually ran into Amy Lovelace at Dreamaway Lodge
Uh-huh.
and had a very nice conversation with her and, her thoughts on the property. And there were some additional, aspects of the property she wanted to show me. She's pretty busy now with the summer season, but we were planning to go out, so maybe we could, do that together.
Set up a time.
Yeah, can we set up a time?
Sure.
Either with her or without her?
Sure.
Just as a procedural question, is it the Concom's position that you'd like to have that site visit before voting on it? I understand we're not making a decision.
I think
tonight,
if-
but would that site visit either?
I would prefer to see it before I vote. I mean, I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah, there
Whatever
shouldn't be
people
any
think,
issues.
it
but
should, I don't think there's gonna be any problem. But
Nice
if
to
we
see
can
what we're
See
voting.
it between this meeting and the next meeting and then vote on it next meeting.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that planning board, we all have this understanding that site visits are the most important part.
Yeah.
So I totally understand.
So
Fridays,
I can do a Friday.
3 for 12,
I'm good Friday.
15th.
Let me just get my calendar.
I can do the 15th, 3:15 or later.
as well.
Yeah.
This Friday?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can actually do that.
Works for a couple of us in a room.
3:15,
3:15, yeah, I can do it.
okay, for whoever can make it.
3:15. Friday, the 15th. All right, which one do you have? All right, so we'll go do a quick walk through or.
And then
walk
we
around.
should be able to vote on it next meeting.
And is it my understanding that the Concom along with the Land Trust are the holders of the CR?
That's correct, yeah.
Be the secondary.
The land trust would be the primary
Primary.
holder and the Concom would be the secondary.
And what's the exact address?
It is. You can
There's
ask
no
me
way
that.
I can't put that into my
GPS doesn't work.
of this property. It's not.
We did discover at our last site visit, granted it was a different season, that we had to access it off of 102 as opposed to Westdale Road in order to get.
So is.
Unless you're trying to look at the wetlands, in which case maybe Westdale Road is easier, but I'll let Katie.
So maybe that we should have a meeting place.
I've accessed it both places,
Okay.
so I can take a look beforehand and then shoot you all an email.
That'd be fine.
Tell us where to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you.
Morning of.
Tell us where to go. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
does anyone hear about the 41 Main Street barn conversion?
I am Neil Jensen.
Neil,
And I'm recusing.
yeah, it's okay.
Can I sit here or you want me in front of her?
Yeah, we can hear you and see you.
Okay.
Tell us what your plans are.
I'm gonna, the original footprint, not changing anything. Have to add a couple windows and doors for egress, building code and so forth.
Mhm.
And I have pictures. There's a sliding door. It was, a horse carriage barn. So when you open the sliding door, which is on the right, there would be an 8-foot sliding glass door there. Okay. And then on the left, there's an access door that's also a sliding door that I will put a, really nice New England type door with 4 lights and there's so forth on that. And then there's some boards that need replacing on the front. It didn't have gutters on it. But the Fitzpatricks did a fantastic job at shoring this building up and, I'm gonna get as my
I've been in it.
primary residence and not change a thing on the outside except a couple windows. I'm 50 feet away from, the back of it is 50 feet away from the wetland according to White Engineering. I don't know if you have that report. I have it right here. So not changing a thing, really
So the footprint doesn't change.
nothing. It's
No,
about
no
16
decks, no,
1300.
yeah,
no decks or
nothing.
additions and,
Nothing.
which
At
is,
some point I'll replace the roof, which I'm sure I'll have to come here. It'll be cedar shakes, it'd be nice.
yeah.
Nothing footprint wise can be changed because it's part of an HOA,
Yeah,
Mhm.
so everything else is common areas.
it'll just look better, new paint job, new shingles, nobody will even know, except, hey, somebody painted the place and, And it will be my primary residence. I was born in Massachusetts, lived in North Egremont for a number of years and moving back.
All right. If the footprint doesn't change and
Nothing.
don't get any closer to the stream and you don't blacktop the area around the building, I don't have any problems here.
Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Okay, all right,
All right.
have at it.
Painless. Thank you.
They may need a copy of the.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you have, who's brought me these pictures? Let's give to you or pass down. And that's just, you can have these if you want them.
Yeah, we'll put them in the file in case,
Pass them around. Yeah.
in case something changes in the future, you have evidence.
Start with you.
Yeah, here.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Good night. Shannon,
Yes.
40 Prospect Hill. Hmm?
Yes,
So what are we doing at 40 Prospect Hill?
46 Prospect Hill Road. Ken Higgins is
Excuse
the
me.
property owner. We just want to let you know what we are proposing for the property.
I know that you did have an informal with Brent White at some point and a site visit with him. We've had previous approvals for the redevelopment of this lot, which have since expired and ownership has changed. So this is 46 Prospect Hill Road, and there was an existing house here. There's a shed and a foundation where a greenhouse was. And there is an intermittent stream that runs down this side. And this plan's kind of not, normally, you know, they're facing north. This one north is that way. So that way to, yeah, that way to Stockbridge Bowl, this way to town. So we have an intermittent stream that comes down and goes to the pond across the street. This is an open, wet meadow here. Interlake Crossroad is just a few houses down in this direction. And then, so there's a bordering vegetated wetland through here. In the back here, it gets steep and there's a lot of ledge. Scenic Mountain Act comes into play back here going up the mountain, but not where the house is. We have 50 feet from the wetland right here, 100 feet right here. We have an existing well and are proposing to tie into the sewer just past Interlake and Crossroad. So what Mr. Higgins would like to do is build a house on the property. It's a 638 square foot house with a 905 square foot deck with parking beneath the deck. So this is the deck area and this is the house area. This will be a covered deck section, and this rectangle here will be a mechanical room on the ground level. So that will have a slab and walls. And this will be a retaining wall. Right here is a big chunk of ledge, which will have to be partially blasted. A walkway going off the upper level. Do you mind if I show, do you mind if I show a picture of the house?
Will the whole deck be covered?
No. Just a portion of it here. So you can see it's a nice little house. It'll fit right in there up against the hillside, with the parking beneath and the living space on basically a second floor.
And I'm sorry, the house is 50 feet from the,
50 feet from the wetland. I believe in a conversation you had with Brent, he said if we stay 50 feet away, that would be hopefully agreeable. There's this existing structure here, and this wraps around steep here. This is where the existing house was and where our previously approved house was.
Can you show me where the well is again?
The well is here.
Okay.
It's already been drilled.
Yep, I'm putting this whole thing into perspective with the well rather than north.
Yeah. So this is the existing driveway, the brown here. It's an asphalt driveway. It comes into 50 feet into the property. What we would like to do is use a portion of that and then swing around and get out of the 50-foot setback and then restore this area to lawn, what's asphalt now. And then other than the apron coming off of Prospect Hill Road, it'll be a gravel driveway versus the asphalt.
So partially covered deck.
We're also proposing a 25-foot strip of buffer plantings here. This is shrubs and a pollinator garden with do not disturb markers, except that the pollinator meadow can be mowed once a year. We would like to ask that, keep the woodies down and help with the seed distribution, probably in the fall. This area for plantings equals all new disturbance in the buffer zone, including the driveway, the house, and the deck.
what's the overall loss or gain of impervious?
Well, we lose that and we have 2,571 square feet which includes the entire driveway, including that which, I believe that includes what's already there.
So when you're doing an NOI for it,
Yes, we will.
so just put the calculations.
The calculations there. Yep.
The planting along the stream. Could we specify that they get taller plantings, can be whatever, shrubs and whatever, but my thought is we try to keep the stream as shaded as we can. Because that's gonna be the south side looking at it.
Okay. There is actually a tree line beyond what is actually the
Yeah.
border vegetated wetland. And then it was gonna be shrubs in the first 12 feet and then pollinator meadow. You want to see some larger trees
Yeah.
mixed in with the shrubs?
Whatever trees are there, if there's ash trees in there, it's gonna happen.
And
So,
are there any trees coming down?
There are two trees coming down, this one and this one, that need to be come down for the safety of the house. And then we're gonna plant two more.
What's coming down and what's going up?
This is a 28-inch maple and this is a 24-inch birch. I can't tell you what species right now, and I don't know what's gonna be
So the-
planted, but it'll be something.
Trees that will be big trees, not little
yeah,
shrub things.
I'm just looking to shade the stream on that side as much as we can.
Okay,
There's no view behind it anyways, but still,
no, and this property used to be fed by a well, a spring house up here, and then the well was drilled by the previous owner. So we want to tie into the sewer. We'll come down here, pump here, and then come right down the side of Prospect Hill Road.
there's a manhole down there some.
There is a fairly new manhole down there. And there are some wetlands along the way. The manhole's down here just past Interlaken Cross Road. Under the minor exempt activities, I would consider this to be an exempt activity, but I'll leave that up to the commission for your,
Follow the edge of the road,
yep,
cross under the road, follow the edge, that's
yep,
crossroads.
yep, it'll cross right through the crossroads. The language is the installation and repair of underground sewer lines within existing paved or unpaved roadways and private roadways and driveways, provided that all work is conducted within the roadway or driveway and that all trenches are closed at the end of the completion of the workday. We're telling you about it. It has a plan. It has to go to Sewer and Water Commission. But wanted to get your opinion on that because it is the issuing authorities' judgment on that.
Any questions?
Oh, you have a question?
I,
The stream, Shannon, is that perennial or is that,
It's intermittent.
oh, it's intermittent?
Mhm. Yep, it comes off the mountain and it goes into this pond.
It's pretty perennial from the overflow from the well.
Well, that may have added to it down here, but according to the maps that we're obligated to use now, it's still intermittent.
I mean, I asked the questions I can ask based on this. I need to see it and see the NOI in writing.
Mm.
Give you more.
We've all
feedback.
been to the site visit at least once,
Mhm.
unless anything's changed with the location of the house.
It's
Because it's like-
essentially in the same location, but it has not been staked out in this exact footprint.
I would want to see it.
You want to?
I would
Let's stake it out. Yeah, let's stake it out.
Okay,
If we need to see it or just do a drive-by and if the stakes are there and painted so we can find them.
yeah, we can send you a plan that tells you what
in the
each
grass, yeah.
one says. What would you like to see? The house itself or the deck footprint and then,
Or just four corners of the house and maybe the extremities of the deck.
okay, driveway at all?
No, because you're gonna lose some of that and it's pretty much overgrown anyway, so.
Yeah.
If we know where it comes to, It's going under the deck, right? That's the parking is under the deck.
They'll park under the deck and then turn around here and overflow
But
parking.
if we know where the deck ends and starts, we'll know where the road and driveway ends.
Okay,
And I'd like to see the impervious calculations and a planting plan of exactly what you're thinking of.
yes, in the notice of intent, yeah. Do you want the buffer zone staked 50 feet and 100
Yeah.
in the vicinity of the
They're gonna
house?
be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to see them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be helpful, thank you.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
You want to set a time or just let them get it done?
Why don't you get it done?
Yeah, when we submit, you'll schedule a site visit?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay, hang on.
I thought they were creative.
No?
Okay, tree planting?
What tree planting?
No.
You only
Stone Ridge?
didn't show the screen boards.
Yeah, let's do 2 Stone Ridge jurisdictional.
She said.
Consider. And you again?
No, I'm one who's tonic.
Anyone here?
What is?
Oh. Oh, that would,
Brian Sitter?
anyone? Continued? Continued.
What was the name of that one?
It's under Brian's.
2 Stone Ridge. Tree planting, Parks and Rec. Is
Yeah,
there-
Anthony from GZA just joined.
Anthony. What correspondence have you had with Kate?
Well, this came up at the last meeting. And I think what Kate decided, and I took a look at it too, was to limit the plantings to the perimeter of the field. And which I think was 28 trees. Did she send that to you?
I didn't receive anything, but I did have a markup from those conversations.
Okay. Because she
And
didn't
so
want, yeah, she didn't want things going in the middle of the field, so.
That was never under consideration.
Well, that they had proposed that to get them all in there. So if she didn't send it to you, I will ask her to send it to you to have it. But that takes care of about 28 trees. So I wanted to see if we could coordinate planting and ask about watering.
yeah,
Still proposing that planting for this year?
definitely still a possibility. We have to re-engage with our with the nursery on this one, and but I did talk to Mass Electric about this plan and that change based on that correspondence with Kate. And so we would like to keep all those the perimeter plantings as planned and stick to that location only is what Mass Electric would prefer to do at this time. And the remainder of those trees, they would be happy to work out a fee per tree and donate to the Town Conservation Commission to be used wherever you'd like.
That works.
Okay.
If that works for you all, that would work great for them. We can still get as many trees as we can fit on the perimeter there that would accommodate that proposed development by Parks and Rec.
I have no problem with that.
So there are, so then those trees would be on hold and we could contact you for planting when we had places to put them? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's gonna reimburse us the price.
Or you're gonna reimburse?
So if we decide to plant 20 more trees, we would have the funds. I don't know
Correct.
how we
I see.
deal with that monies. Would have to go into the town budget, I think.
Okay, maybe ask Michael.
Yeah,
Well, I'm thinking we're taking down those big trees at Havert Park along
Yeah,
the river.
yeah.
Maybe we can put some there.
yeah. And that's what the monies would be for.
Okay.
Replacements like on town properties that we have to take them down.
And how do you determine the reimbursement rate?
Basically, we can still coordinate that with you all, but I think there was a range. They were comfortable between 100 and 200, somewhere in there per tree. So if that's in the ballpark, maybe you can, if you wanted to look into that as well, and I can coordinate with Sally on that final number, maybe put something in writing in a short letter, and we can settle up that part of it.
And would Mass Electric still plant them?
They would just be planting the ones that would fit in the park on the perimeter,
So
and the rest would be up to you all. I mean, it could be used for something else as well, but yeah, it would just be a check at that point.
So, and that you're talking about 25 trees, 22 trees, right?
Yeah, I think 20, it looks like 22 would fit, and the total was 46 or 48. So yeah, it's 23 or 25
Okay.
worth of value.
Okay.
So I'm just curious, since I wasn't on the commission when this happened, where were these trees taken down?
This was at 7 or near 7 Clark Road, off of Route 7 there, and this was part of a cross, well, they call it a cross country distribution line that was taken out of service and relocated to Clark Road to extend service or continue service, but also to allow some other homes to gain access to that electrical overhead. So because of that, it was basically a new right of way with its approximately 25-foot width. And so there were trees right along the edge of Clark Road that had to be removed in wetlands as part of it.
So,
Thank you.
Yep.
I think we can't vote on this. It's listed under informal, but can you send the proposal in writing and we can maybe vote on it at the next meeting? And when you come up with the exact calculation of, the per tree.
Yeah, the numbers of trees and what you feel is significant for the reimbursement of the trees that don't get planted. And then,
Yep, absolutely.
The size of the trees.
yeah, but well, the reimbursement's pretty much gonna determine the size of the tree.
And we don't want them too
Right.
big. We don't want them too big anyway. It's harder to establish.
They won't be big.
It won't be big. You
Not
don't
for
have to worry.
less than $200.
And also how they're gonna be watered, the ones that are going into the park.
Yeah, will they be warranted for a year?
Yeah, I believe that was part of the what we were working on with the nursery, that they would include that.
All right,
All right, so if you
Sounds
can
like
send it,
that's usually part of the deal.
Right.
you can send it all in writing and then we can vote at the next meeting.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay,
Thank you, Anthony.
thanks.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Night.
All right. Public hearing. Scenic Mountain Notice of Intent. 1 Houstonic Road.
Good evening.
Again,
Shannon Bumsmark from White Engineering. This is 1 Housatonic Road up Mackinac Heights. owned by Inez Stewart. This is, a few of us did a site visit. This is at the end of Housatonic Road. There is a intermittent stream on the south side with a bordering vegetated wetland and an intermittent stream on the north side. Both are off the property, which would be the red lines. So this falls under Wetlands Protection Act, Scenic Mountain Act, and your local bylaw. We took a look at some of the grades as requested. We got the steepest areas are 13.4% grades, but with the overall mountain, it was mapped as scenic mountain at this point. The proposal is to construct a house pretty much in the center of the property. Oh, I'll back up for a second. This is 50 feet from this stream. This is 50 feet from this stream and wetland. 100 feet from the stream to the north goes through the house, and 100 feet from the stream to the south is in the yard. So the proposal is to build a 57 by 24 house with a 12 by 24 deck, screen porch, and then a small porch off the side for the stairs to come up to enter the house. It's going to be a modular house on a full foundation. The roof runoff will go to gutters, to roof leaders, to stone dry wells, to rain gardens. Given the amount of clearing on the property, which was 16,000, we did stormwater calculations for the 2, 10, 25, and 100-year storm. And we have total stormwater storage is 1,965, which is greater capacity than the 100-year storm would create over a 24-hour period. This is a gravel parking area that will come right off of Housatonic Road. We have shown grading for it to be flat with a boulder wall to support that, and then plantings on the slope. And there were some trees that were cut down, 13 trees we counted, and we're proposing to plant 24 trees. And I've added additional species similar to what is out there. The maples, there was a lot of maples. The black birch, the sugar maple, and the striped maple, and the northern red oak, they were out there as well. Then we have plantings for the slope of shrubs, and then the rain garden plantings of shrubs and ferns and flowers.
Where's the well on this property now?
The well is right here. So we'll be connecting to the well, and the house will be connected to the sewer. It's in Housatonic Road. So we have an E1 pump that'll pump up to the.
Are the colored circles the trees to be planted?
To be planted, yes.
And that's, you're putting in oak, maple,
Yep, average.
Okay. Tell me when I can ask the question.
Go ahead.
So just explain the stormwater to me, and partly the reason I'm asking is we are seeing so many stormwater plans that the first, every big rain, things are just getting washed away. So I have less and less faith in these stormwater plans, and I don't know if they take into consideration velocity, you know, when we get these really heavy rains. My concern is it is on a hill, the trees were taken off, so my concern is there's going to be significant. So I see the number.
Yeah.
I don't quite.
I think a lot of your concern is coming from like some of the long driveways.
Yeah.
And.
Taking down trees.
The washouts.
Taking down trees.
This stormwater is to account for the new impervious area on the site, the roof area, not the entire site, because it is a vegetated site. Even though it's not trees, but it's vegetated and that's overland flow.
Right, but trees do so much to absorb the water and hold everything in place.
Yes.
They do a lot. And when you take down big trees. I don't know, I don't know if that gets reflected.
No, it does
And
not.
I think it's part of the problem in what we see.
We base this on the Massachusetts Stormwater Management Guidelines, which is for increase
Right.
in post-construction runoff from impervious
I
surfaces.
understand that. I think we're gonna find more and more that it's flawed, that it's
Mhm.
just not, reflective of what's going on in the world.
Right. Also, this is a single-family house. Under Wetlands Protection Act, we don't have to provide stormwater, but under scenic mountain and local bylaw, we do what we can.
So I would want to personally condition that we can go out and take a look and see after a big storm what it looks like going down that hill. Just because we're seeing it in almost every plan that that brought to us when we go look, there's real issues.
Mhm. Well, certainly, I mean, the first thing that's gonna happen is build the house, and then the plantings will be done. And while we wait for those to be established, we won't be requesting a certificate of compliance, so you still have the
We can come
right to go on the property.
Yeah. When will the plantings go in? Because that makes a big difference too.
Well, the house is ready.
Right.
So it will be going in just as soon as we have paperwork in hand. So if they can get the plantings in
The
this
foundation,
fall, foundation needs to be put in.
Right.
So if they can get the site, the house done and get everything stabilized and then work on the plantings before winter comes, I'll suggest they do.
This it's gonna, it's gonna wash down that hill. The sooner you get the plantings in, the better for your
I'm
property.
the abutter,
With your butter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
because you keep nodding at me.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry, I thought you were the owner.
I am not the owner, I am the abutter, so, I got a notice. And here I am.
if you get a flood, you give us a notice.
Well,
Is the groundwater pretty low, pretty high?
I have the intermittent, so may okay.
Sure.
Yeah, Matt, which butter are you?
I'm two Yoakum.
Okay, so over here.
Right, I think the intermittent is on my property, is that not?
Yes, this one is.
That one there is on my
Mhm.
property, okay.
Doesn't the location or whose property is on, it's a distance from the building site to that stream
Well,
or,
I didn't understand, I mean, all I got was notification to abutters. And it said construction of single-family house in the buffer zone. What's the buffer zone?
the distance from the stream. It's set distance-wise, 50 feet or 100 feet. And if the house is within either of those distances,
That's the buffer.
that's a buffer.
Okay, and that's all
And
taken care of.
This is 100 feet from your stream.
It's actually, it's 100 feet for the resource and then 50 for the buffer, isn't it,
It's
Shannon?
100 feet for the buffer zone, 50 feet is your local bylaw.
We can go to 100 feet if we want. Often we allow things within 50 feet. We can go to 100
But your bylaw specifically says 50 feet
minimum.
could threaten.
It just looks like
Wetland.
with streams on either side, that the groundwater is not too deep.
Well, this slopes down,
Oh,
so
yeah.
everything's flowing downhill
So surface water.
down here. I did dig a couple of holes, I only went 12 inches or so and did not find any evidence of groundwater. But there were no test pits done out here.
Was
Seemed pretty-
that a full foundation under the house?
Yes.
The curtain drains, or any kind of drains for the foundations?
That is a good question. It's full foundation in the back. And then it's a walkout here, so it would be 4 foot here. And we can tie that into the rain gardens.
I mean, just at least have that ability if you have water.
You might
And that was seen.
might want to
People do
increase the
some
size,
pump.
may want to increase the size of one of the rain gardens where the where it ends up.
And then one more little point. That originally was in the scenic mountains, right?
It is in Scenic Mountain, yep.
So, and you've taken down a number of trees in the scenic mountains, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Do you think when you put the trees back, which is part of what you're doing there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you might put them a little more naturally rather than those rows, so that it would look like what it was?
Certainly.
Is that a possibility? I'm just asking.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely. I know over here, it was mainly for screening, was why they were located here, but we can certainly spread them out throughout the property. These people love trees.
That's good.
From here down on this property and beyond is still densely wooded, with tall trees. So given this elevation of the house and the height of the trees here, the house is gonna.
Just sprinkle them around a little bit in a more natural way, is that, are we, good,
Yes.
something we wanna
Like,
suggest?
Yep.
And I do want a condition about being even until, I want a condition that we can go out, even though we can go out and look at, check after a significant rain.
Of course.
Are you gonna set that time now?
Hmm?
The site visit now?
We did a site visit.
We've been there.
Yeah. we did. So.
Not much is gonna change until they start
I've seen the site, I know.
foundation and whatnot. Okay,
Do you want to make those changes and then we'll.
we'll do that next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, and did you have something else to say?
Would you like to say something else?
I was shocked last year when it got clear cut. And we had owls and we have woodpeckers and we had safe places for the bears to go through and all kinds of deer and everything. And now it's, so that I became very concerned.
Yeah, sure.
And so I do agree, it was a woods and I did a Tiananmen Square thing. I stood in front of the machine and I said, run me over before you do this. And that's how strongly I felt about it. I'd rather die than see all these habitats taken out. So it's not just having beautiful trees, it's having trees that are the habitats for all this wildlife that we have up on the hill.
Yeah, that's what, and that's,
Yeah, so.
we can't replace what they took down, but that's why we suggested that they
Yeah,
plant similar to what was there.
and it'll take them years to grow to.
Yeah, well, you're talking to habitat people, have at it.
So there is the tree atlas, which gives you ratings for different species and how they're gonna go forward in kind of changing climates. And so, as much as I always use reference sites for my tree plantings, I would consider kind of running things through that threshold such that, they're either gonna have a neutral or positive kind of impacts in the future, just because, there's a lot of great studies coming out. I mean, even sugar maples were considered negatively impacted and now are neutral to positive. Some of Tony DeMaio's work. So I just think being able to have a little bit of a climate threshold and not just reference, because striped maple's like a dime a dozen. It's such an early successional tree, would not hyper focus on that replacement value, but really kind of what's that vertical and horizontal structure you're missing, and can you kind of achieve that with kind of a mixture of fast growing softwoods and some hardwoods? And then was there any hemlocks that came down, getting those kind of coniferous species back in?
I wouldn't put a hemlock.
Thank you.
I wouldn't plant a hemlock.
No, I know, but that form and structure that a hemlock, a coniferous plant had, can you get that replacement value? It's not gonna be one-to-one the same species, but that structure and function.
Yeah.
Yeah, more on,
Thank you.
more on what the environment was and really trying to renew that environment, whatever the word is,
Yeah.
you know, replace that environment.
And preparing for the changes.
Your backyard, until they cleared, was identical to that property, was it not? From where your properties ended,
Yes.
no, there was no differences 20 feet either side of your property line.
He's saying it was a similar forest across.
Yeah, the forest was,
Oh,
No, not really.
no, because it's a long story.
Land use history.
Well,
never mind.
yes and no. I mean, there's
It was
so much
more
going
for-
on there. I mean, the stuff that's growing there, there's just a lot going on, but
Well, I was out here
yeah.
a number of years ago for these people before they bought the property. And I told them about Scenic Mountain and about the streams.
Yeah.
And the permits were gonna be needed. And they filed the notice of intent. They hired someone they thought was just gonna clear out the honeysuckle and the prickers and stuff. And then we noticed the trees being cut down. We are addressing. But I don't recall this being a forest.
It wasn't a pine forest or.
No.
It was a wood.
Like
It's what we would, in New England, would call a woods. It's not like a grand forest. It is a.
It was a wooded-
woods.
it was a wooded-
Trees,
yeah.
and some of them were dead trees and some were live trees, and that woodpeckers don't care. They'll eat either one.
First growth, second growth forest. I mean, it'd been cleared.
It'd been cleared before.
Probably. Well, I will tell you, when I first moved out here 28 years ago, we tried to buy that property at the same time because we saw, because it was all trees and we wanted to live in the woods. And in those early years, and that nobody wanted to sell to us. But at some point, some real estate, and it wasn't buildable then because we were all on septic. And that property didn't have enough leach room and all of that, whatever it was, sewage. And, but at some point that changed, it became buildable. But in the meantime, somebody sold the property, some real estate agent. And I actually came to town hall and I said, can they do that? It's not buildable. He said, that's not my problem. That's right. So they can. The people came, they started chopping down trees. I came and I said, do something. They went up, they stopped them. They said, you can't build here and you have to replace every tree you chop down. So that was a good time. And then, of course, the zoning all changed in recent years and that it was vulnerable again to development. Fair and square. But I would hope that same 1-for-1 would be the standard.
Oh.
I think it's 2-for-1, right?
I will go 2-for-1.
I think you said 24.
No, they took down everything. It was clear, there's nothing.
We counted 13 stumps.
Okay.
And we're planting
Okay.
24 trees.
Okay, that's good. All right. I accept.
Okay.
If
Thank
you ever
you.
see an opening on the Concom, think about us.
Or if you see an opening in the woods up there again, let us
That
know
too.
before it completely opens up.
I will tell you, this winter, I bought the parcel on the west side of my property to protect it. And that's all.
Yeah,
That's
great.
all.
Thank you.
They're not forests.
No, they're not forests.
They're woods, yeah.
50 years will be forest.
Okay.
No, 50 years there'll be houses.
Maybe. Okay, moving on.
Thank you.
all very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Sorry about that.
Well,
So.
I appreciate
it. Give it.
Okay. Is it?
22 Birch Lane.
What?
Wanna address that?
Okay.
Oh, he's here, 22 Birch Lane. So I went and looked, let me see here. I went and looked, they do have a hazardous tree, the branches are falling on the neighbor's glass table. They do need to come out, but I asked them to come and just tell us how they were going to do that. and they're not here. So, I'm gonna,
Do they have a tree company listed or anything?
I don't think they did.
Probably not.
But if you, can you just call him? His
Yeah.
number's here. I've spoken to him. Just tell them, they just need to tell us how they're gonna do it so that they don't
That might,
impact the,
on my to-do list again,
okay,
and this time I will do.
thank you.
I'm gonna continue it.
I
Continue,
think, I mean, I think it's, they need to take it out. It's a hazardous tree, at least probably two of them. They need to go.
Just the one tree?
No, there's one up front that's dead and there's two in the back that's dead. They're dead. Two are dangerous. They need to come right down.
They get an emergency,
That's what I tried to do and have them come and just tell us how they were going to do it. I don't think they need to come. If you just.
I'll talk to them.
Yeah, I think if you just talk.
Okay.
Come down.
Two room,
Agenda, so I don't know where I am.
It's you. And I think
2 Wallace Road.
yeah, native habitat, Phragmites.
I still call it Shaggy Dog, but Heron Pond.
What are you gonna do with Phragmites?
Well, so we've done, our history is, this is our third RDA. We've done, kind of, I'll call it a light touch on that property up until now. And it's continuing to kind of do a light touch. So we're proposing for the Phragmites that's on, so we started, well, I should back up, like 2016, we had a permit to do Phragmites control, and it was much thicker around the pond, kind of where you see it in the actual Heron Pond itself. It was thick around the outflow of the pond itself. We managed to reduce that substantially, but it's starting to come back. So there's right kind of here is, I would say, 40 stems of Phragmites. So we're just talking about swiping them with a wetland approved herbicide that we've done there before. There is also narrow leaf cactail, which is our non-native typha that is also invading Campusa bogs, like it's taken over all the habitat there. And under recommendation of the ecologist from Heritage, he would like to kind of see people start to thin out the narrow leaf cactail to see if we can bring broadleaf cattails back. So this is not going to be all the cactail there, but we were going to do a trial area of about 1 in 4 stems each year to try to reduce the narrow leaf. Kind of, again, on these, just these edges where it's really started to come in. There is also, I just kind of showed this work, previous Phragmites work under past permits. So we'd like to be able to, over the 3 years of this RDA, maintain those if need be. And approach that.
what do you use for herbicide?
We use rodeo for that one, and we swipe the stems.
What's the active
Glyphosate.
glyphosate? Huh?
Yep. For.
Is it the new formula?
Well, so we use the wetland approved formula for any of our wetland work with glyphosate. And so it's not a new formula, it's the wetland formula. So it has a different kind of set of surfactants in it that do not have the same impact that you're allowed to use in upland.
Should have done the job.
I think it came from him.
Yeah.
It came from him.
Yes, bring it on.
No, no.
Let's have conversations.
So, I mean.
Just so I can point at the map, I figured I'd get a little
So-
closer.
It's, you know.
I know.
You know what I'm gonna say.
Actually,
First of all-
can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Did you get to see kind of how bad the Phragmites was there?
At McAllister?
No, at Heron Pond.
I haven't seen it, so I'd
Okay.
like to see it.
It's very late now.
Yeah.
And so really our goal is to try to maintain it before it kind of comes back. And with Phragmites, we need to. So I just wasn't sure if, I couldn't remember when you were on the Concom. Okay. So They're similar to what you see previously on Wallace Road.
Yeah.
It was thick.
So do
You
you,
couldn't walk through it.
You couldn't walk through it.
do you send a report on what you did and what they?
Actually, what we've done, well, because we renew this every 3 years, we've kind of come back and had discussions on where we've gotten the Phragmites to, but also it's actually best the site visit is wonderful because you see how bad it is everywhere else. And then you see our few little stems that we're going to be working on.
Do a site visit, but I would also want to see a report.
How far into the jungle, let's call it, are you gonna go from?
No, so this is just this pond and the Phragmites is really kind of just coming back right here on this tip. The rest of this purple area is the cactus that we would like to see if we can kind of not let that take over.
And that's the only way to deal with the cattail.
So, similar to Phragmites, the cactus rhizomes go really deep and not as deep as Phragmites, but deep. And so it would almost be a dredge of the pond if you were to.
You're gonna use clip and drip or how does?
No, again, we swipe. So you spray on a glove and you swipe the stems. And it's actually similar to about 10 acres that we did on the Campusa mat for the Natural Heritage and Endangered
Did you do
Species
it again?
Program. We
And who said again?
did the mat last year under Chris Bulow's permit.
Huh.
We swiped every stem for
Aren't I still?
10 acres.
Phragmites out there along the side of the road there?
I don't know their plans. They had hired us specifically just to be on the mat. So we were in kind of the hyper rare plant areas, and that's why we were doing the swipe technique as well. And so that same technique we do on the mat, we're going to do here.
So I'd like to see it.
Okay. It's actually visible just from the road as well. So,
Should be a pretty rubber glove. I mean,
well, you put a cotton glove over the rubber glove. So you have your nitrile glove and then you have a cotton glove and that's what you're spraying onto
the
and
last thing
swiping.
you'd want is to have a handful of that stuff.
Well, I mean, the nice thing about the narrow leaf cattail is it's unlike the broadleaf, which is
Yeah.
wide, this is thin and tall.
Well, I think it gets
Yeah.
everything just
So you
about.
just, swipe it.
Did you have a comment?
I just have a question. I know that previously, the Nature Conservancy did work in the bog.
Yeah,
And at that time, they cut, because I was a volunteer.
yeah, I think you came out with me.
It was quesadilla.
Right, Kay and I were 98, 99, 2000. Oh, okay.
Yeah, earlier time. And they cut
And
all them
drip.
out. And then she would go in fall and eject the stalks.
Mhm.
So has the approach changed?
Yes, because it's very hard to calibrate the amount of herbicide that goes into that cut portion based on the nodule. And so what we realized over time is in order to accommodate per acre rates that we're limited to, we sometimes only had to do 1 out of 5 stems. And so we weren't getting good coverage. What we could do is have a lower amount of herbicide per stem now with the swiping and have it translocate from the foliar.
I see.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so it's actually, that is about reducing herbicide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
I mean, I would want to see, it, and I mean, I would just say upfront, I just can never vote for Grants.
I know.
I just look at myself.
Fair enough. I mean, I know your perspective on this and I think
Bad.
it is,
We don't,
I don't feel, yeah,
we don't have to.
but I definitely, if you're going to see it, because I had wondered if there would be a site visit, but I don't think Sally she didn't reach out.
We said it.
Oh, here. Oh, I thought you would see it before the RDA.
No, Great Barrington does.
Yeah, not here.
Comes to
Okay.
Meeting, and then he goes to.
So I'd love to show you what it used to look like and what we're trying. I would say we're in a maintenance phase. So we actually haven't done treatment in the pond area for, I would say, 3 years. And the fact that we have so few stems that we'd like to touch up is kind of what we're going for right now, is that maintaining not Phragmites in this vicinity. There's still so much of it here that we're really just trying to hold a line. like this is the area, this is the aquatic system we don't want frag in. But it's not ever going to be a wholesale thing. But with learning a lot about narrowleaf cattail, it seemed like if we were getting rid of the Phragmites, were we just opening it up for the narrowleaf cattail? So we want to slowly kind of thin that so that it doesn't just kind of take over as we've seen it in other places. So that's the goal there.
Okay.
3:45, Marty?
Well, you just set a 3:15 for,
Right. For.
I think it's going to take a little longer to do Loveless. And by the way, the nymphs of ticks are so tiny right now. So tiny. Be very careful.
I just got over Lyme disease.
Yeah, I mean, they're like tiny little dots right now.
Like freckles, like little.
Yes, like it looked like dirt specks. That's how bad it's been the past 2 weeks. So just be really on the Loveless property. I mean, you're not going to have that here, but I was thinking about it earlier for you guys.
Thank you.
All right,
Be prepared.
So 3:40, so wait, what time?
3:45, that'll give us half an hour.
You can do Loveless in half an
Yeah.
hour? Get there? I mean, I don't know
We'll
that.
do it.
Okay.
Can I borrow your pen just for 1 sec? My pen decided to crap out on me. 3:45.
We're being optimistic.
Is Bill there? I don't know if Bill heard that.
I think we're being optimistic.
Yeah.
45.
I do too. I think
4:00.
I'll buy you a cup of coffee if you
And then
can.
coffee.
But I think getting from there, looking around and.
Yeah, I would say 4. There's no way.
4, I'm convinced.
That way we won't have you. Yeah,
Well, that way I can also pick up my kid from camp.
that's important. Yeah. Okay, 4:00.
So 4:00, I would park along Wallace Road right here. And we're literally going to be walking on the lawn to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yes. And so, yeah, you've seen it 3 times now this is like our 3rd or 4th RDA. But, anything, if there's no other questions, I'm not going to be available for the next Concom hearing because I'm going to be not work-wise on an island. Do I have to be at the next one or?
No, if you get, I mean, if we have comments that need to come, if we need anything else in writing, just get it to us.
Okay, great, excellent. I looked at the schedule and I was like, oh, I'm gone for work. So, thank you.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you.
4:00.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. The one last thing I didn't address is we're hand raking the milfoil. So it's like a non-herbicide milfoil raking on the pond. So it's milfoil, sorry, because that's not what we normally do. I mean, we don't do milfoil, but we're hand raking there. So just because they've had some algal blooms and because they don't want to change kind of the water, they don't want to put like an aerator in or anything that would kind of mess up the ecosystems, which.
So you can actually pull all the roots out and everything?
Yeah, there's these aquatic rakes.
That's
And you
good.
you get in your waders in a canoe or on the edge and you literally just rake it out.
Just pull it.
Yeah. So we're gonna have like probably, we're a little late on it now. But maybe like, 2 days of raking. If the water levels especially start to go down because of drought conditions, we'll try to get in there. But I just wanted you to know it's cattails, Phragmites, swiping, raking, milfoil. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Stockbridge Bowl Association? Is that part of that? Oh, this is the test pits for GZA. Anybody? Hello?
Yes, hi, I'm here from GCA.
All right, have you started the test pits yet? Have you got any information on those or?
No, we're here. I'll state my name. I'm Robin Casiopo with GCA. We submitted the RDA for conducting the test pits in the field. So we're here because so I'll back up. We're proposing 6 test pits at the Bullard Woods site in the open fields, 3 in the northern field, 3 in the southern field. And 2 of the 6 test pits, the 2 northernmost pits are in buffer zone to the approved delineated isolated vegetative wetland. And so per the bylaw, we are here just for looking for the local ruling, because it's not covered under the WPA regulation for the IVW. We're looking for a negative determination for those two test pits within that 50 to 100 foot area of the buffer zone. And so no work has been done.
And after you dig the test pits, what's the disturbance? Or how is it?
So they'll access through the adjacent Boston Symphony Orchestra property, using the existing roads. They'll bring in an excavator on a trailer. And then the excavator will be brought to the fields, and each test pit will be up to 10 feet wide by 10 feet long, and to a maximum of 30 feet, or as far as the excavator can go, for depth, or until they hit bedrock. So the purpose of the test pits is to see where bedrock is, or large boulders, any type of refusal in the fields.
So if you go down 6 feet and you hit a boulder, you stop and fill it back in? Do you
You
go
stop
to,
and fill it in.
do you go to another location, or do you just move to the next selected test pit area?
Just the next area that is shown on the map. There wouldn't be any test pits in locations not shown on the map.
I don't have the RDA.
I don't know if I got it. Hang on a minute. Oh, could be one of these maps.
Maybe it's me. Is it? Okay.
And they're 50 feet, you said, from the resource area?
Two of the pits are within the 50 to 100 foot buffer zone from the IVW, so not within the 50 foot no disturbance zone.
So if they're not within the first 50 feet, I think we could put a negative determination.
And they'll be conducted during dry conditions, of course, to minimize any soil runoff.
So they're putting the dredge materials in here and wondering how all that stuff is gonna leach out of it, control groundwater. That's what the test pits, I think, are for. It's not a,
Take the water out of the whatever's left, and then.
they're seeing what they're gonna hit, you know,
Yeah.
where it starts running.
They're looking for ledge mostly.
Yeah.
That's all I think.
It's mostly looking for ledge.
Do you think it can be a negative determination? What do you want to see?
What do you mean negative?
If it's not within the first 50 feet, we can give it a negative determination. That's our no disturbance. So,
Let them do it.
Let them do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Go
saying.
along with that. Yeah.
All right.
So I make a motion that we give a, go ahead.
When you, after the test pit is dug, excavated, you fill it back in? Do you reseed that area or just leave it? If it's gonna work, you don't actually have to do anything with it, right? But if it's not sufficient depth or size or whatever, what is the end result of that test pit? Do you reseed it?
So for all the test pits, even if we find that the depth is sufficient for, future uses, every test pit will be filled and restored with they'll try their best to maintain some of that, grass, turf material and topsoil, put that aside so that they can refill with the excavated materials, put that on top if it's still intact, but if not, the plan is to reseed with a native grass mix, and so that the site is graded and restored at least with seed by the end of the day. So it's a one day in and out, no open test pits will be left in the field.
All right, okay. Thank you. Okay, now you good.
So I make a motion to give negative determination to the RDA for Stockbridge Bowl Association for test pits.
I'll second it.
Just quickly, David has a question. He has his hand up. I just before you
Okay.
finalize, just want to see. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
I just wanted to offer up to the commission that based on what I've just heard, and I'm not here for this actual item on the agenda. I'm here for some other things, but I've been listening in. There's an exemption in the Wetlands Protection Act for exploratory borings in buffer zone and riverfront area. And the impression I get is that GZA and Robin are in front of the commission because of the bylaw only. So the Wetlands Protection Act actually offers an exemption for this exact kind of activity for what it's worth.
Okay. So we don't have to vote on the RDA. We can just say we're allowing it under the bylaw.
Yeah, Robin, unless I misconstrue something, that's why you're here, right?
Yeah, that is why we're here. And we had some correspondence with Sally, and some back and forth with, can we just conduct this? Is this an exempt activity? And it was suggested that we submit an RDA. And so that's why we're going through the formal process of submitting the RDA with the WPA form, and just having something kind of in writing that way.
Yeah, so my recommendation is a negative determination for this. This is a non-issue. This is not a significant activity.
Appreciate your input. Thank you.
What's
So-
the point of the test pits? Is it with anticipated dredging?
Yeah,
It's to put the geotubes to see if the weight of them can be held there without damaging the land.
Then the water has to go somewhere. I imagine the video tubes are gonna be in the ground.
they de-water it somewhere else, I think, first, and then.
So why don't we say it's exempt under the WPA and we're allowing it under the bylaw? I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Hi, Ron.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Bill L.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Bill R.
Thank you, David.
So Lucy.
Okay, Robin, you're all set.
Great. Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too.
That's been full.
Oh, it did.
This is being continued.
So do we need to sign anything?
We need to sign and I want to hear from David on the stormwater, and I don't know if Kate has some. Lucy Allen 44 is continued. We're not really.
Well, we don't have anything else on our agenda.
We have to back page.
So,
We do.
Oh.
But I don't know why David got put there coming. I'd like to hear about the failed stormwater.
They asked.
which one? Where are we? Oh,
This is continued.
yeah,
Okay, these are to sign.
yeah. I think you're right there.
Somebody gave
It
it,
was mine. You can have that, kid.
you want it? Pretty interesting, isn't it?
I want to hear, well, we need to talk about Parks and Rec, because I don't know why. It's not. But I would like to hear from David on the, are you here for the stormwater, David? Yeah. For Dugway and Eden Hill.
For Dugway and for Eden Hill.
All right. Yeah, let's have some input on that. I was
Okay.
at both places after the rain. None of them are good.
Are you doing the boat ramp now?
No,
So do you want me to give you my report on those two sites now?
sure, I got an idea what they say, but yeah, yes.
So I inspected both sites today, actually. And I'll start with Dugway. They had a mini excavator on site today, and they were really busy doing all sorts of work specifically targeted at trying to fix those problems. I don't think the issue at Dugway is lack of vegetation along the shoulders of, or the embankments of the driveway, I think there are a couple of factors. One, we had an atypically strong storm, and those happen sometimes, and that's what, we should have provisions in place for. But I think the bigger issue is that I look at that site and I break it into two separate areas. There's the driveway, which because of the slope of that site, the driveway is kind of a switchback situation. So it's a pretty long driveway if you look at the entire length of it, because it has to do that switchback to get up to the top of the site. And then there's the house site. And as I recall from when the construction phase stormwater management plan was put together for that project and the stormwater permit, the goal was to try to get as much of the water that is sourced from the house and the clearing around the house away from the top of the driveway, so that all that stormwater doesn't end up going down the driveway. And to me, that's the biggest issue right now. I think there are curtain drains around the foundation of the house that go to a stilling basin that's at the top of the site. But it doesn't appear to me that that's actually online right now. And so none of the water that's coming off of the roof of the house, which is in construction right now, is actually going to that basin that's at the top of the driveway. It seems to me that like all the stormwater that's generated from that site is just flowing down the driveway and then onto Dugway Road, and that's what's causing the erosion. I don't think there's been really any impact to the brook that's on the opposite side of the road or to the Housatonic River. It looks to me like all the material that's been eroded just kind of fans out in an alluvial pattern onto the lower flat portion of Dugway Road itself. But it's going to be an ongoing issue until they can take the water that's coming off of the house site and shunt it off to the top of the site instead of allowing it to get to the top of the driveway. So they need to break that watershed up. I talked to the guy running the excavator today. I didn't give him any directions, but I just said, I'm here to do an inspection and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. They did, to their credit, they did a lot of work. They put in a whole bunch of check dams along the roadside, the driveway swales on both sides of the driveway. They had straw wattles and they had riprap check dams to kind of slow that water down and detain it a little bit, and that should help. They'd also done some repairs along the shoulder of Dugway Road. But without seeing it in a storm event, I can't say right now definitively how that's actually going to respond to a significant rain event.
One thing that I noticed, pardon me, Joe, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, sir. I know the site.
At the top of the hill, at the driveway on the right, there's a rain garden that was higher than the driveway. This was months ago when we were up there. The first thing the water can't get to this rain garden. It was close. 6 inches would have got water to it, but the 6 inches just was there. So that rain garden was absolutely useless. So the water that would have gone to it, should have gone to it, now went to the right side of the driveway. Which direction is that? North side? Which then started to spread out and eventually made it to the other side of the driveway where the major erosion was.
That's exactly the problem, Ron. All the water from that entire site that's been cleared is getting to the bottom of the driveway and to Dugway Road. That's exactly the problem. And what they need to try to do is at least take the footprint of the house site and all the clearing around the house and not allow that to get to the top of the driveway, but to shunt it off to the east to where that basin is that has been already designed and built. It's been constructed to take all the water that comes off the roof of that house through a curtain drain or something and send it to that thing. But it's clearly not online right now. That's to me, that's the biggest part of the problem. There's too there's too much volume of water that's going down that driveway. Now, they've made some improvements to it, to their credit. They put check dams in to slow that stuff down and to hold it back. But until that, I don't think it's a problem of site stabilization. The embankments on both sides of the driveway are pretty well vegetated, so I don't think that's a problem. They just need to break the watershed up and try to get as much of the water from the top of the site to not get to the top of the driveway and end up going down to Dugway Road.
David, there must be erosion along the road though.
Oh,
With major,
significant.
Yeah,
Major.
there is.
I mean, that's
There is.
major.
There
And
is.
then it makes its way over under the road there at that culvert, right?
over the road.
It seems to mostly just, it erodes maybe 100 or 150 feet along that northern shoulder, and then just kind of fans out on Dugway Road itself. I don't think there's been really
So
any
southern
significant-
exposure, right? Southern swale?
the northern side of Dugway Road.
No, southern.
It's where all that erosion has occurred on the driveway side of the road. Yeah. I don't think there's been really any significant environmental impact to the brook that's on the opposite side of Dugway Road or to the Housatonic River. But yeah, honestly, to me, this is more of a highway department issue than a conservation commission issue, but these guys need to figure out how to, minimize the velocities and the volume of water coming down that driveway, because it's definitely impacting the road.
Between the impervious house site and all the clearing, that's a big area.
It is. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
did that,
I just don't think the construction phase stormwater management plan is functioning the way we all envisioned it was supposed to.
I agree with.
Yeah.
and
And I would, that's the same general comment I have for Eden Hill too.
so I agree with everything you said, except that it's atypical rains. Because we're just seeing more and more of these atypical rains. These are gonna be our typical rains.
Yeah,
And-
I mean,
and
this
so
was,
But to the star at least.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you, Lisa. This was supposed to be designed to handle this kind of rain. It was a strong rain event. I mean, in some parts of Massachusetts, we got 3 inches of rain in a day. That's a lot, but this was supposed to be able to manage that.
Right. So will your feedback get back to the, is it
We'll talk to White Engineering.
You know, if they're adding.
Well, I guess that's an important question, because White Engineering did the permit application,
yep,
but I'm not sure what role they actually have in the project during the construction phase. I'm not sure if they're still,
So we should go after the contractor then, or talk to the contractor.
yeah, we should talk to the contractor, but I think they need an engineer involved to like help guide them through this.
All
So,
right. I'll call Brett tomorrow.
okay.
Okay,
yeah, just
Well, yeah.
maybe see if Brett still has a contract with those guys to provide on-call engineering services, and then he and I can have a conversation and I can make some suggestions.
all right. Eden Hill, how would you like that one?
So similar situation. And I did talk to the guys on site today. I checked in at the construction trailer. I walked around. It's in this kind of precarious phase of the project where most of everything except for the driveway and the parking lot is pretty much vegetated and stable, but they're partway through building the structure, which is this very, very big building. It's huge. And so they've got the building walled in and they've got a roof on it. And that roof, of course, is new impervious surface. And to me, the same kind of situation is happening, which is most of the stormwater is just getting funneled to the top of the driveway, which is the construction entrance. And it's just washing over all that gravel and soil that's on the driveway and dumping it onto the road and into the catch basins. They constructed these gigantic sediment traps in accordance with that construction phase stormwater management plan that we spent a lot of time working through. To their credit, they built those things. But I'm just not convinced that a lot of the water that's being generated in the disturbed portion of the project is getting to those basins. It seems like it's just getting all funneled to the driveway and just flowing onto the road. So that one I think probably warrants a site meeting.
Okay.
And I'm happy to attend that. I don't think it's I don't think it's a major problem to be solved. I just think that they just need to, they're not focusing on that. I'm sure they're just focusing on deadlines to get the project built. They've been very accommodating to me every time I've talked to them. I just think we need to refocus them on, like, guys, you built these ginormous stormwater basins for the construction phase, but if the water can't get to them, they can't function to do what they're supposed to do. I think that's the problem.
And, I was there on site during the rainstorm and it was all coming down that construction driveway. I mean, that was just a river coming
Exactly.
down to
Exactly.
the main roadway into the
Did it
property.
make it across the street or did it all funnel into?
Oh, yeah, no, it was all
Right
flooding across Prospect Hill
Streets
Road.
right across.
All right.
Oh, it was, and,
That was.
brown mud. I mean,
Yep.
it
That was a
I looked
concern.
at
Did you
where
see
it goes
the?
under the road, there's a little culvert there.
Yeah, completely
I'm
overwhelmed,
sure that,
completely overwhelmed.
yeah,
And probably full of silt.
I had a bale of hay in front of it,
Had a couple of bales of hay.
bale,
on
straw,
Fountain Hill.
whatever it was,
Yeah,
who knows?
but completely overwhelmed.
So
Yeah,
how,
they've got sedimentation and erosion controls all over the site, but that doesn't actually manage the stormwater, right? Those things are supposed to be there as like a last line of defense. I don't think they're being negligent or like ignoring this stuff. I just don't think they're focusing on it. And I think they've lost sight of the fact that, like, we put a lot of time into this and the commission had concerns about historic stormwater problems coming from this site. And we just need to refocus them and say, like, guys, and I can give them suggestions. Like they could put in like water bars and all sorts of things to shunt that water off the driveway into the stormwater basins. So it's not just all flowing over that gravel dirt road and picking up sediment and dumping it into the catch basins. They've got tons of stormwater volume storage up there. They just need to tap into it and make it work.
So will you stop back up there or should we contact them and tell them that you're gonna come see them, or how do you want to do this?
I have a name of the site super that I can talk to about that, so I can work on that.
All right, if you could express our concerns and say we'd rather not have a site visit up there with the whole assembly here if we don't have to, but we will.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think I should just, if
I
the
think we should
commission
go.
if the commission is okay with it, I think I should say, like, listen, guys, this is a shot across the bow, and the commission has enforcement and penalty options that they can exercise that includes fines for this kind of thing.
I think we should back up David.
oh, absolutely.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That, I'm fine with that, because this is, well, like you said, this is what we were worried about from day one.
Yeah,
Almost.
and to their credit, they put a lot of time and thought into putting this construction phase stormwater management plan together based on the commission's recommendations. And I think they're not focusing on it right now. And they just need to be brought back and they need to focus on it.
Okay, good. You reach out, you have any questions or issues, give us some call.
Okay.
And we'll bring the muscle up there to twist Dan.
Who might that be?
I don't know. We can find somebody young.
When's the site? Is there gonna be a site
He's-
visit?
Is there,
No, he's gonna
reach out.
talk to him.
Are you okay with that, David?
Yeah, I am. That's
Okay.
fine. And the guys up at the site today were completely receptive and very polite to me. So we'll work it out. I can work it out with them.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
I'm not sure what Kate's waiting for.
Kate, do you want to have any input in anything else?
I'm here for the boat ramp and I know Tom's here for that too.
Because
Where
that's
are we?
upcoming, I thought. That's upcoming business.
So it's
And
stormwater.
Brian's here.
But do your thing and we'll wait.
Come on up.
Well, I spoke to Sally earlier. I just had a question about a building permit.
Ask for,
For 2 Stone Ridge Road. So I think right around the corner from what you were talking about. But this project's well away from any of the wetlands, so we thought, and you'd asked for an RDA to do the building permit, which we were, a bit surprised by, I think, because we had designed it to stay away from any jurisdictional areas, specifically the natural heritage areas that surround
I
it.
think what the RDA got you in here with some maps.
The what?
We brought you in here with some maps so we could see what's what.
Well, that's why I'm here then.
Good.
And my maps are not that great because I just found out this morning, threw it together, but this is Dugway Road coming up, Mohawk Brook along it. And this new subdevelopment was put in here up the hill, Stone Ridge Road. And the building permit is for lot number 2, where they're expecting to put a foundation in. And when they went to get the building permit, of course, it was flagged for an RDA. And I just wanted to clarify, I don't think we're within any natural heritage. We specifically designed it not to be within the natural heritage mapping, and I thought that might have been the reason. So I just want to show that, we're not disturbing an area that's mapped by natural heritage. Otherwise, we're 700 feet from the nearest wetland, I think. It's not a very steep site. It's relatively flat in here. It was actually farmed in the past, so it's built on an old farm field. Certainly the slopes around it are steep.
And it's not scenic mountain.
It's not scenic mountains, no.
Bless.
It's not mapped on scenic mountains, and I also don't think it's above 1,300 feet. So I guess I just wanted to clarify what we'd be submitting the RDA for, or ideally not need to do an RDA. But
You called and she told you to do an RDA?
No.
well, the building, I think there might have been some confusion, I think, because lot 2, this one over here is actually labeled as lot 2, which is in both natural heritage and there's conservation restrictions on it down by the road. This one says lot 1, but it's actually number 2, I think, so.
Okay, so maybe that was.
So the question, I guess, was, do we need to do an RDA if we're outside jurisdictional areas? Or can we, discuss the building permit?
Let's discuss the building permit and we'll drop the RDA then.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with this site.
Yeah, so I know certainly other parcels within that division have, there's mapped areas of endangered species, and then there's a wetland across the north side of the street. But this is within an existing clearing, a single family home outside the natural heritage mapping area.
You have,
So the building permit is just for the foundation at this point, but
so the foundation, just the house.
just the house foundation here, yeah, which it's I think outside any jurisdictional areas that would be, because we looked at that initially, whether we would need permits or notice of intent and all that, because we knew it could potentially delay the project, so we were fairly confident it didn't. So I just wanted to clarify that.
I don't see that it needs an RDA.
All right, now we know which lot's which.
Yeah, I think they're labeled wrong, so there might have been some confusion. I talked to Sally about it.
So
Just to
can they
clarify.
be labeled, is there a way to get them labeled correctly?
Well, it's lot 5 of the subdivision. I don't know why it says number 1 on the assessor's map. It's just the way that they lay it out, I think, when they do the mailing addresses. I'm not sure how that works, but. So it's lot 5, but it's
Want me to
labeled as.
clarify
lot-
that, Brian?
Yeah,
They were originally just laid out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there is a procedure for assigning numbers.
Right.
And so lot 5, the old lot 5, was the first lot on the left. It actually begins right down at the bottom. I can't vote on this, I'm recused, but I can clarify, I guess. So it's the first one on the left-hand side going away from the center of town. Becomes 1, 3, 3, and then it's 2, 4, and so on the right.
Thank you.
And so
so it would have been
So
one
they
based on
corrected
that.
all that,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, technically it's the first on the left because it does extend down to the
to the road.
Dugway Road, yeah. So
You familiar with this site at all?
But it doesn't look like they need to.
No.
yeah, I think the closest wetland is a small BBW that's here. It's about 600 feet to the other side of the road. From my review, again, this is mostly a cleared lot that's relatively flat. I guess I don't know what we'd really ask for, maybe a revisiting of the notification of jurisdiction form that we received. It's really what we're looking for.
Let me see that. Can you see?
I think when they go for the building permit, it gets reviewed by the commission, of course, but I just want to clarify any confusion. That's fair enough. All right.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else?
That's all I had.
The things to sign, I just wanted to say, Ron and I looked at tree removal at Albert Park. There's 4 dangerous trees that need to come down, so they're gonna come down on an emergency basis. And I'm gonna talk to Katie and see if some of those trees from National Grid or Mass Electric can be used as replacements.
Their school. Why are they doing this?
Got it.
No, we got it.
Katie's
Sure
here.
about the 22 Lake Drive. That one was signed. And 6 Old Colonial Road. Working on that. Yep. Got that one right here.
And the industrial park is the other one.
Has that gotten a DP number yet?
To be reopened pending DEP, so no, just those 2 then. Isn't it? Yep.
Anything else?
Okay.
Katie, let's. Whatever you're here for, let's do it.
Okay. So this was interesting in period, if possible, getting a copy of the it says here, we got this 1-page notice on the boat ramp.
Oh, that's the state.
Yeah, it says here that copies of the notice of intent may be examined or obtained at the Office of the Stockbridge Conservation Commission. So whatever you can tell me about what is in the works there, I don't know, we'd be interested to know a little bit more about that.
I don't know if she has copies in here. I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay,
Kate, I wasn't here last meeting and I have no idea what she's
Okay, let me
received since
see.
then.
okay.
I heard wind of it, that the state is now gonna do
Well,
the
there's
original
also-
plan.
there's Also the option to contact the state, so if I don't succeed in getting through here. at our local Concom, I can also try the, Department of Fish and Game. So,
They were gonna do a ramp
It's
and a
gonna be on the
wall.
far side.
Michael Canales spoke at the Stockbridge Bowl Association annual meeting
Right.
10 days ago. And he showed a kind of a plan and a kind of mock-up of what this dock and facility would look like.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
So they're gonna.
We haven't, it hasn't been
You know,
asked
hoping
before
that,
us.
you know, for all the money that goes into,
I put in $25,000 in and we've moved along on the list. And so now we're going to get the bank restored and the trees strengthened and the ramp put in.
okay, I think, you know,
A new
I'm
ramp?
hoping that there won't be increased
Not the
increased impermeability as part of this work, you know, that there will.
I heard a wall, but I have no idea what that entails or where or.
We haven't seen
Originally, it
plans.
was where the bank was washed away and the tree roots were starting to be exposed. I don't know if it's up close or in water. I have no idea.
But it will go before the board at some point.
Yeah, there's a notice of intent.
Okay, great.
I just haven't reviewed it
All
yet.
right, good, that's great. I mean, it's just, I don't typically come to these meetings. It's a pleasure watching the care that goes into maintaining the conservation in town and.
Did you take my
Thank you.
Well, back at you.
But gosh knows you have a tough job.
Yeah.
All right, so, this is, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You can you copy it or get a copy from Sally? But
I'll sneak in there right now.
yeah, go copy it and put it back. And what we didn't do was the parks proposal. We didn't do that.
Did you get a copy? I had a bunch of these I sent down.
Yeah, there's one right here.
So I did look at it.
Signed ones,
Yeah, I'll get, yeah.
okay,
Um,
and now,
I did look at it. I think I need more information to collect.
Yeah, because there's no locations or anything like that. And
And I don't know, they're talking about bathrooms, where would they put bathrooms? Where's that gonna go?
I'm not on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if it came before select board, but,
Did you get a copy of the thing I got from Kate? Jane,
What?
you get a copy of that?
No, but I just heard the proposal from Michael Canales.
so, I think we need to tell her, we need,
That's what-
Oh, I got one of them.
we need to go look at,
this, carriage house on Main Street's location.
Yeah.
You wanted to keep those in the, yeah.
Well, I'll
there's
get
no
them in the
application,
file.
but that's a delineation. We need to go see it and get
Yeah,
information,
it's- or at least have a map of where she's proposing to
right?
put all this stuff.
So if we tell her, maybe take us, walk us.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're not even.
John Penseville's old property.
Yeah,
They don't even know which
Is that
park.
file?
Yeah.
I'll put it all together. So I don't want to.
So I'm not sure.
Sally's got a system and I'm not gonna.
From us tonight.
Right, I think we need,
It's in that pile.
It's in that pile.
can we relay that we need more information?
Oh, yes. She's on vacation, I think, this week, so I'll see her back. Or something, well, I don't know, maybe she's just.
Because she's working Tuesday nights.
Or-
She said she was working on Tuesday nights, which is why
Oh,
she couldn't come
I
and
know.
speak to us. It was in one of the emails I saw.
Who was the minutes taker? That's this one? Anybody?
No one volunteered.
Oh.
I just put our names on it so that,
She knows who's here,
Yeah.
Do we know who was here?
no, I didn't.
but it will be on the recording.
Yeah, she can watch the, thank you.
All right, anything else?
Hey, you want me to put the air back on?
I think we're done.
Are we done?
Anything from people out there? Marie? Tom?
I think it's,
Bill?
Anyone have anything to add?
Reese from the planning.
She's gone. Christine is out there. I don't know if she wants to say anything.
Oh, shall we vote to
Else.
adjourn?
Motion.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, everybody's had a
Second.
chance to look at the
All in
Parks and
favor?
Recs recommendation. We'll need information on that. I have opinions on it.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you on Friday.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.